Do you know that uncomfortable feeling of being judged silently, as if glances and silences speak louder than any direct criticism? I know what it's like. It really hurts. But what if I told you there's a way to turn this situation in our favor? Yes, it is possible to transform this poison into a true remedy for the soul. Today, I want to invite you on an incredible journey, exploring 10 powerful lessons from Stoicism that will show you how to do just that. Let's discover together how these ancient teachings can help us not only face silent disdain, but also use it as a springboard to become stronger and more prepared. So, let's get started on this adventure. Before we start, don't forget to like our content, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I invite you to subscribe. Lesson 1. The Inner Mirror. Imagine for a moment that every look of disdain and every whisper behind you are merely reflections. They don't reflect who you truly are, but what the person judging you is carrying within themselves. This is the first great lesson of Stoicism, the art of seeing beyond others' judgments, understanding that true power lies in how we choose to interpret and react to these judgments. The reality is that people will always talk, judge, and often disdain. But what do these judgments say about us? Absolutely nothing, unless we decide to give them power. Stoicism teaches us to build an inner mirror, a powerful tool for self-reflection that allows us to see ourselves with our own eyes, free from the distortions imposed by others' opinions. When someone silently judges us, they are projecting their own insecurities, fears, and limitations onto us. It's like they are offering us a strange gift wrapped in disdain. But here's the secret. We have the choice to accept this gift or not. And if we choose not to accept it, if we decide that the value we give ourselves comes from within, then this judgment loses its power over us. This doesn't mean we should be indifferent to the pain these judgments can cause. We are human, after all, and feeling is part of our nature. However, Stoicism offers us a way to deal with this pain without letting it define or control our lives. It's about recognizing the pain, understanding where it comes from, and then, with calm and determination, choosing a path aligned with our own values and perceptions. Creating this inner mirror is a process. It requires practice, patience, and above all, compassion for oneself. We will face challenges. Without a doubt, there will be moments when others' opinions seem to weigh more than reason. But every time we choose to reflect on who we really are, every time we decide that someone's judgment says more about them than about us, we strengthen our inner mirror. So, the next time you feel the weight of a disdainful look, remember, you have an inner mirror, a mirror that reflects your truth, your strength, your ability to grow and transform despite the poison of unspoken criticism. Using this mirror to guide your actions and reactions is an act of power, and that power belongs entirely to you. Now, with this well-polished mirror in hand, we are ready to face upcoming challenges, always remembering that the true judgment that matters is the one we hold about ourselves. And thus, armed with the wisdom of Stoicism, we move on to the next lesson, ready to discover more about transforming challenges into opportunities for growth. Lesson 2. The Power of Silence. In a world filled with noise where most people seem to compete to see who can speak the loudest, silence is often underestimated. However, there is extraordinary strength in silence, especially when we are faced with silent disdain or unspoken criticism. This second lesson of Stoicism invites us to rediscover the power of silence, not as a sign of weakness, but as a strategic choice of strength and self-control. When someone silently disdains us, our initial reaction might be to want to respond, defend ourselves, or even attack. Stoicism, however, suggests a different approach, embracing silence. But why? Because in silence, we find the opportunity to emotionally distance ourselves from the situation, allowing us to evaluate our internal reactions before deciding how to act. It is in this space between the stimulus, the disdain, and the response that our true power lies. Think of silence as fertile ground for personal growth, where we can plant the seeds of reflection, patience, and understanding. Choosing silence in the face of disdain is not just about avoiding conflict. It is about giving ourselves the time to understand the nature of this disdain and, more importantly, to consciously decide how to respond. This conscious choice is true freedom. Furthermore, silence allows us to observe our emotions without judgment. Instead of reacting impulsively, we give ourselves the chance to ask, "Why does this affect me? What does it reveal about me?" These questions can lead to profound insights into our insecurities, values, and what truly matters in our lives. But how do we cultivate this strength of silence? Start with small steps. The next time you face disdain or criticism, take a deep breath. Allow yourself to feel what you feel, but before reacting, pause. Ask yourself if a response is really necessary, and if it is, how can you respond in a way that is aligned with your deepest values? Remembering that silence is a choice also reminds us that we have control over how we respond to the world around us. We cannot control others' actions or feelings, but we can control our own reactions. And sometimes the most powerful response is to choose not to respond. By embracing the strength of silence, we practice Stoicism in its purest form. We recognize that while we cannot control external events, we have total control over our inner world, and it is in this inner world that our true strength and freedom lie. With the lesson of the power of silence well understood, we are more prepared than ever to continue our path of personal growth, ready to face what comes with calm, dignity, and wisdom. Lesson 3: The Art of Acceptance. In our quest to understand how to transform silent criticism into learning and personal growth, we encounter a powerful and demanding lesson: the art of acceptance. This Stoic principle is not about passivity or conformity, but about recognizing and embracing reality as it is, rather than as we wish it to be. Accepting does not mean agreeing with silent disdain or allowing others' opinions to define our value. Accepting means recognizing that these situations exist and choosing not to let them disturb our inner peace. The art of acceptance involves recognizing that some things are beyond our control, including others' actions and opinions, but we can always control our reaction to them. When someone silently disdains us, our natural reaction might be pain, anger, or frustration. These feelings are human and legitimate, but acceptance invites us to approach them with compassion and curiosity, rather than judgment or resistance. Asking, "Why does this affect me?" or "What does this reveal about my own insecurities or values?" can open doors to deep self-awareness and personal growth. Accepting also means learning to let go. Letting go of the need for others' approval, unrealistic expectations we have of ourselves and others, and the desire to control what is uncontrollable. This detachment is not surrender, but liberation. It frees the energy consumed by unnecessary worries and fears, allowing us to focus on what truly matters: our own path of growth and the actions we can take to live in alignment with our values. Practicing the art of acceptance can begin with simple mindfulness of the present moment. Each time you feel disturbed by others' judgment or disdain, stop and breathe. Bring your attention to the present moment, acknowledging your feelings without trying to change them. Over time, this practice can help develop an inner tranquility that remains firm in the face of others' opinions. The true beauty of acceptance lies in its ability to free us. It frees us from the tyranny of should and opens us to the richness of what is. It allows us to live with more authenticity, integrity, and ultimately, happiness. Knowing that while we cannot choose all the circumstances of our lives, we can always choose how we relate to them. With the lesson of the art of acceptance well assimilated, we continue our path more resilient and balanced, ready to face what life brings us with grace, wisdom, and an open heart. Lesson 4: The Power of Perspective. Our third step in this journey of growth and self-discovery leads us to the heart of Stoic wisdom: the importance of adopting the correct perspective in the face of life's challenges. When someone ignores or silently disdains us, It is natural for our initial reaction to be seeing it as a personal attack, as a reflection of our flaws or inadequacies. However, let's change this perspective. What if we see these moments as disguised opportunities for personal development? The way we choose to perceive life's events can completely transform our experience. Instead of seeing silent disdain as a poisoned arrow aimed at our heart, we can interpret it as a mirror that reveals more about the person who disdains than about ourselves. Perspective is not only liberating but also revolutionary. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot control others' actions and thoughts, we have total control over how we interpret and react to these actions. This lesson gives us the power to adopt a posture of curiosity rather than defensiveness. When someone silently judges us, we can ask ourselves, what does this teach me about human nature? How can I use this experience to grow and strengthen my character? Adopting a broader perspective allows us to see beyond the momentary discomfort, recognizing that every experience, whether positive or negative, brings with it seeds of wisdom and growth. It allows us to approach silent disdain not as a burden but as a challenge to be met, a puzzle to be solved in our quest for understanding and empathy. Moreover, this change of perspective reinforces the idea that we are the authors of our own story. We do not have to be passive characters, victims of circumstances or others' opinions. On the contrary, we have the power to rewrite our script, choosing responses and actions that reflect who we truly are and who we aspire to be. Practicing this change of perspective can start with small steps. Each time you face a difficult situation, take a step back and try to see it from another angle. Ask yourself, is there another way to see this? How can this experience help me grow? Over time, this practice can become a habit, transforming not only how you respond to silent disdain, but also how you approach life in general. With the lesson of the power of perspective firmly incorporated into our Stoic arsenal, we are better equipped than ever to face the challenges life presents. Armed with the wisdom that our perspective is the key to our inner freedom, we move forward confidently on our journey, ready for the lessons and transformations to come. Lesson 5. The Journey of Authenticity. As we travel the path of personal transformation, we arrive at one of the most powerful lessons Stoicism offers, the journey of authenticity. This journey teaches us to value our true essence above all else, to stay true to who we really are, regardless of silent criticism or others' judgments. Being authentic means living in accordance with our deepest values, without shaping our identity or actions to seek external approval. In the end, the most important opinion is our own. When we are silently disdained, we may be tempted to change who we are to avoid discomfort. However, every time we give in to this temptation, we lose a bit of ourselves. Living authentically requires courage. It means facing the fear of judgment and rejection, accepting that not everyone will understand or appreciate who we truly are. And that's okay. The beauty of authenticity lies in its ability to connect us with those who truly resonate with our true selves, creating deeper and more meaningful relationships. The journey of authenticity also challenges us to explore and understand our own values, beliefs, and passions. Ask yourself, what is really important to me? How do I want to live my life? These questions can be difficult, but they are essential for building an authentic and fulfilling existence. Embracing authenticity as a way of life frees us from the constant need for external validation. When we know who we are and what we value, others' approval becomes less relevant. We are no longer at the mercy of others' opinions because our self-esteem and sense of worth come from within. This does not mean we should completely ignore others' feedback. Learning from others' perspectives can be valuable, but we need to filter them through our own sense of truth and integrity. Authenticity gives us the freedom to take what is useful, reject what is not, and continue our path with confidence. The journey of authenticity is an ongoing exploration, a commitment to living truly aligned with who we are. It teaches us to celebrate our individuality, embrace our imperfections, and grow from our unique experiences. By embracing authenticity, We not only strengthen ourselves against unspoken criticism, but we also find a deep source of joy, purpose, and peace. Every authentic step we take lights the way not only for ourselves, but also for those around us, inspiring them to discover and embrace their own truths. With this understanding of authenticity, we are better prepared to navigate the complexities of life, ready to face the next lessons with a renewed sense of self-confidence and clarity of purpose. Lesson 6. The Power of Resilience. As we delve deeper into our journey through the realm of silent criticism, we find a virtue that acts as both shield and compass: resilience. This sixth lesson invites us to develop an inner strength that allows us to face the storms of silent disdain, not just surviving but emerging stronger. Resilience is the ability to quickly recover from difficulties, an elasticity of the soul that enables us not to be shaped by adversities, but to shape ourselves through our ability to overcome them. When we are the target of silent disdain, we may feel diminished. However, it is precisely in these moments that resilience shines, reminding us that our worth is not determined by others' judgments. Developing resilience does not mean ignoring the pain or discomfort that accompanies disdain. It means recognizing these feelings, allowing ourselves to feel them, and then deliberately choosing a path of overcoming and growth. It's about understanding that while we cannot control others' actions, we have complete control over how we choose to respond to them. Cultivating resilience begins with self-awareness. Knowing our strengths as well as our vulnerabilities is crucial because both are equally valuable in building resilience. Strengths serve as a foundation of support, while vulnerabilities offer areas for growth and fortification. Another vital aspect of building resilience is having a support network. Being surrounded by people who understand, value, and support us unconditionally creates an environment where we can fail, learn, and grow without fear of judgment. This emotional security is essential for rising stronger after every fall. Additionally, practicing gratitude plays a significant role in resilience. Focusing on the good in our lives, even in the face of disdain or adversity, cultivates a positive perspective that drives us forward. Gratitude helps us see that despite challenges, there is always light, always something worth fighting for. Finally, resilience is fueled by our ability to find meaning in adversity. Each experience of disdain, each unspoken criticism, contains lessons that can make us wiser, more empathetic, and ultimately more human. By seeking and finding these lessons, we turn our struggles into stepping stones towards a better version of ourselves. With resilience rooted in us, we are ready to not only face the poison of silent criticism, but to transform it into an elixir of personal growth. As we move forward, armed with this powerful virtue, every challenge becomes an opportunity, every obstacle an invitation to evolve. Strengthened by resilience, we are prepared for the next lessons and challenges life has in store. Lesson 7. The Invaluable Value of Self-Knowledge. In our journey to transform the poison of silent criticism into a remedy, the next gem we discover is the invaluable value of self-knowledge. This Stoic principle is fundamental, as it teaches us that the key to navigating the tumultuous waters of others' opinions lies within us, in the deep understanding of who we are, our strengths, weaknesses, values, and desires. Self-knowledge goes beyond merely being aware of our preferences or aversions. It's a deep dive into our psyche, a constant questioning that pushes us to understand our reactions, emotions, and choices. When we face silent disdain, it is this inner knowledge that offers us a solid foothold, a compass that guides us through the confusion and pain these judgments can cause. Developing self-knowledge is an ongoing process and requires brutal honesty with oneself. It involves active reflection, whether through meditation, journaling, or therapy, exploring the layers of our consciousness to discover what truly motivates us. By knowing ourselves deeply, we begin to understand why certain criticisms affect us more than others, revealing insecurities or past wounds that may need healing. This process of self-exploration also allows us to identify our most central values. These values are our North Star, guiding our decisions and actions and providing a criterion by which we can evaluate criticism or silent disdain. If an unspoken criticism goes against what we value, we can recognize it as incompatible with our truth and therefore not give it power to disturb our inner peace. Moreover, self-knowledge helps us establish healthy boundaries. By knowing who we are and what we value, we become more capable of saying no to demands and expectations from others that do not resonate with our essence. This is not an act of selfishness but of self-respect and authenticity. The journey towards self-knowledge is also a path to freedom. Free from the chains of external approval, we can live in a way that is truly our own, not shaped by the fear of judgment. Each insight about ourselves is a tool that allows us to better manage silent disdain, transforming it from poison into a catalyst for personal growth. Armed with this deep self-knowledge, we are better prepared to face not only the silence laden with judgments, but also any challenge life presents. Knowing who we are, we can stand firm in our truth, immune to the fluctuations of others' opinions and always seeking to live a life that reflects our most authentic essence. Lesson 8. The wisdom of flexibility. As we continue our exploration of how to transform silent criticism into opportunities for soul strengthening, we encounter an essential lesson: the wisdom of flexibility. This Stoic teaching does not ask us to compromise our values or yield to external pressures, but to recognize and adapt to adversities without losing our essence. Flexibility, in this context, is the ability to adjust to changing circumstances with grace and balance. In the face of silent disdain, it allows us to see different perspectives and respond in ways that reflect our deepest values, rather than reacting impulsively based on hurt emotions. Flexibility begins with open-mindedness. Being willing to listen and learn from criticism, even when it is not expressed in the most constructive way, is essential. Rather than shutting down or automatically defending ourselves, ask, "Is there a truth here? Is there something I can learn or improve?" This approach not only reduces the impact of disdain but also transforms potential negatives into opportunities for personal growth. Another vital aspect of flexibility is the ability to let go. Often we cling to the idea of how things should be, and any deviation causes us suffering. Flexibility teaches us to let go of these rigid expectations, creating space for new possibilities and experiences. This does not mean abandoning our goals but being open to different paths and solutions to achieve them. Flexibility also manifests in our ability to change our internal narrative. Rather than seeing ourselves as victims of silent disdain, we can reimagine ourselves as the protagonists of our own story, capable of overcoming challenges with wisdom and resilience. This shift in perspective can be incredibly powerful, transforming how we see ourselves and how we interact with the world around us. Practicing flexibility also means cultivating patience. Changes and adaptations do not always happen overnight. Sometimes it takes time, allowing situations to unfold and trusting in our ability to navigate them with wisdom and discernment. Embracing the wisdom of flexibility opens up a range of possibilities for dealing with silent disdain and any other adversity life presents. We learn that while we cannot control others' actions or opinions, we have the power to choose how we respond, adapting in ways that align with who we are and aspire to be. Equipped with the lesson of flexibility, we continue our journey with a new understanding that true strength lies not in rigidity, but in the ability to flow with changes while maintaining our essence intact. Ready for the challenges and lessons to come, we move forward knowing that our flexibility is one of our greatest sources of personal power. Let's embrace this wisdom, practice flexibility in our daily lives, and strengthen ourselves at every step of the way. Thus, we will always be prepared for the inevitable changes of life, responding with grace, resilience, and integrity. Lesson 9. The practice of empathy. In our journey to transform silent criticism into something positive, we arrive at one of the most important lessons: the practice of empathy. This lesson reminds us that behind every look of disapproval or unspoken criticism is a human being struggling with their own battles, fears, and insecurities. Understanding this does not diminish the pain we feel, but gives us a broader perspective and the chance to cultivate compassion for both ourselves and others. Empathy is the ability to understand and share another person's feelings, to put ourselves in their shoes and see the world through their eyes. When someone silently judges us, our natural reaction may be anger or defensiveness. However, by choosing empathy, we seek to understand the reasons behind this behavior. This does not mean justifying harmful actions, but rather seeking a deeper understanding of the human complexities that connect us all. Practicing empathy begins with active listening and the willingness to perceive others' emotions, even when they are not expressed directly. Sometimes this involves reading between the lines or simply offering a safe space for someone to feel heard and understood. By doing so, we may discover that silent disdain often stems not from malice directed at us, but from unresolved issues in the other person's life. In addition to promoting understanding and connection with others, empathy also has the power to transform our internal dialogue. Approaching others with compassion teaches us to extend the same kindness to ourselves. This means addressing our own failures and vulnerabilities with love and patience, rather than harsh self-criticism. Empathy also teaches us the importance of vulnerability. Being vulnerable enough to acknowledge and share our feelings creates a bridge of mutual understanding. This helps not only in healing, but also encourages others to open up, creating a virtuous cycle of human support and connection. Finally, the practice of empathy contributes to building stronger and more compassionate communities. When we choose empathy in response to disdain and judgment, we choose to believe in people's fundamental goodness. We opt for a world where understanding and mutual support prevail over conflict and division. With the lesson of empathy engraved in our hearts, we are better equipped to face not only silent disdain, but also any challenge life brings us. Empathy reminds us that at the core of our shared human experiences, there is always room for growth, forgiveness, and love. Lesson 10. The Beauty of Detachment. Concluding our journey to transform silent criticism into a remedy for the soul, we encounter a powerful revelation: the beauty of detachment. This lesson, deeply rooted in Stoic wisdom, teaches us to free ourselves from the chains of others' expectations, allowing us to live with greater freedom and authenticity. Detachment does not mean being indifferent or negligent. In reality, it means understanding that our inner peace and happiness should not depend on others' approval or opinion. While we cannot control what others think or say about us, we have complete control over our reaction and the value we give to these judgments. Practicing detachment begins with the acceptance that we are complete and sufficient beings in ourselves. This means cultivating self-esteem independent of the fluctuations of public opinion. When we detach from the need for external validation, we discover an inexhaustible source of self-confidence and self-respect. Detachment also involves an awareness of life's impermanence, including human relationships and others' perceptions of us. This does not mean completely ignoring external feedback, which can be valuable, but filtering it through our own truth and inner wisdom. This makes us less reactive to criticism and more focused on our own path of growth and evolution. Detachment offers us incredible freedom. It frees us from the anxiety of always trying to please or impress others, allowing us to live more authentically and aligned with our true values and passions. When we let go of others' expectations, our steps become lighter, our hearts more open, and our lives curiously richer and more fulfilling. With the lesson of detachment deeply integrated into our essence, we conclude this series of teachings. We are now better prepared to face the world, not armored against disdain or criticism, but strengthened by a deep understanding of who we are, the inherent value we possess, and the ability to transform any poison into an elixir of personal growth. Detachment, far from making us distant or cold, brings us closer to the truth and beauty of being authentically ourselves. If you've made it this far, you already know what to do, right? Type, "I am a Stoic" in silence in the comments. This way I'll know who the true modern Stoics are, in search of a meaningful life. Thank you to everyone who watched the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the Millennial Stoicism channel, leave your comments, and share this content with your friends and family. Understanding that everything flows and changes helps us embrace the present with gratitude and face the future with openness, without rigidly clinging to an identity or reputation that must be defended at all costs. This process of detachment frees us to live in accordance with our own values and beliefs rather than being shaped by others' expectations. By detaching, we allow our true essence to shine, freed from the masks we often feel the need to wear to please others. It is an invitation to rediscover our authenticity and live with integrity, true to who we really are. Detachment also means embracing change and uncertainty, with an open mind and a calm heart. It's recognizing that life is a series of ebbs and flows and that our true strength lies in our ability to navigate these cycles with grace and resilience. When we accept impermanence, we become more flexible and adaptable, ready to face any challenge life presents. The beauty of detachment lies in the fact that it allows us to live fully in the present moment without being prisoners of the past or anxious about the future. It is finding peace in knowing that we are enough as we are, regardless of external opinions. By detaching, we discover an inner freedom that allows us to live with more joy, purpose, and authenticity. In practicing detachment, we learn to value our own opinions more than those of others. Your participation is very important to us. I end the video with a reflection from Marcus Aurelius. Reflect on the immensity of time and the brevity of life. Appreciate each moment. Do not cling to what is transient, but seek the essence of who you truly are. This is the key to a full and meaningful life.